between the Atlanta Falcons and the Oakland Raiders. So with that, let's get out to the East Bay.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Atlanta Falcons and the Oakland Raiders. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now a carry here for Orleans Darkwa. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Darkwa. And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Carr now to throw to the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Now they try the right side here. And he's got some space here. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one 28 yards on the ground. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 49-yard line.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
He'll look to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself the best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Tahir Whitehead in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
Gone! 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 Detroit! 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 Detroit!
They'll try and throw for it here. He's going to float this one deep right side. That's going to be caught. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A big play there. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. Wow, talk about a big 4th down conversion for the score. Defensively, how do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for it and having that type of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
Zerline good with a PAT. And that makes the score 7-0. Here's Bosher to kick it away. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
The numbers for him from a week ago, 22 carries, 74 yards. To throw, it's Carr. Going for his running back, and he's got him complete.
And well-liked by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said, Coach, we've got to have better yardage for this guy. He's number 9 in the league. He's got to be in the top 3 before the season's over. Let's run the ball.
Now Carr. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you, from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a long night.
Now Darkwa, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is, how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays, getting into the backfield. But the best ones can throw the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Watch it now, Barney.
Now a handoff looking right. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
This is caught inside the 15. And he's going to have this down deep into Oakland territory. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 46 yards. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Watch it now, Barney. Gun.
He'll get it up the middle. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Here we go. No. Check. Patriot. Gun.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Tahir Whitehead. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And they'll get him down up past the 15. And they've got it here with a first down. Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. 1st and 10 at the 18. On the run, Darkwan. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to run there.
And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
They'll run with Darkwan. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It was pretty evident in reading everything, hearing these guys talk, that this was a deal they wanted to get done. They know how valuable he is to this team.
Absolutely a key component to what they do and what they do well. And if they want to continue to have success in the future, they knew they needed him, and they got the deal done.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Carr going to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Now a play fake here on first down. And this is caught by Martavis Bryant. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. On first down, Carr. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 15 he goes. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. He'll pick up another first down with that run.
And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The Raiders on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Get down, get down. 180.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. And this is caught by Cooper for a Raider touchdown. Amari Cooper, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good, we're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right?
And that's caught inside the 30. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line.
Check, Patriot!
And on the ground they go with the running back. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Now they try the right side here. And now running right through it. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts us down to a third and about 5.
Watching that, Barney!
He can run for it, and he will. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A really nice effort that time. 12 yards on the keeper, picking up the first.
Over!
Now a handoff looking right. Showed off the footwork, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Clock running, and the Falcons moving with a sense of urgency.
Watching that, Barney!
Now they try the right side here. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A great play there, hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons are in for 6. And there you go, nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
White! Down! White 85!
Throwing on first down is Carr. And this one is incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Carr going to try and throw on third down. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Carr now on first down. Roberts with it over the middle. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Again, it's Carr. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And he'll be out of bounds. 23 yards on the play. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. Carlson able to put this one through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10.
Watching now, Barney. All right, now, look at 56. Look at 56.
They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to float this one deep right side. He's got him in, complete. And all the way down to the 37. So he comes out of nowhere. He's got this handlebar mustache, greasy hair. And he says, would you rather eat a jar of mayonnaise or 3 sticks of butter? And I'm like, well, all right, never mind. Third quarter action now. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half.
They've got his man complete. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. 77 yards. And the Falcons will add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors. But that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Zerline connects on the extra point, and that makes it a 21-10 game. Here's Bosher to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10.
Monday, down. 185.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Get set. 180.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. "21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
That good for 22 and a 1st down. to throw now on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Falcons will extend their lead.
I know there are a bunch of people that actually hate this route. They don't think it's successful very often. But if you get a little bit of space and you throw it in the right spot, you can see the end result. We just saw a touchdown.
Yeah, we did. Who's it usually tougher for? Obviously, that was a great catch. Is it tougher on the passer or on the receiver there on the fade?
I think it's tougher on the passer to put it in the right spot and give the receiver an opportunity. The receiver just usually goes and finds the football.
He did there and got a touchdown out of it. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They'll run again now with Darquan. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
And they'll run it here. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Leopard! Detroit! Gone!
They're going to look to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Falcons will add on to their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Raiders. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, Just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And they'll go on the ground.
Missed.
This will not go down. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make it second down.
Get down. 185.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit, because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Get down. Blue 80.
From the gun now on third down, Carr. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. Dances by him. And he will take it out to the 25-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that's caught inside the 35. A big-time play there for the Falcons. 47 yards. Back now in the East Bay.
Detroit! Leopard! Over!
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Gone! Leopard! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Detroit!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Detroit! Gone!
Back to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving. They'll look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. The first down screen pass, good for 5. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Detroit!
He'll drop to throw. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. The quick slant, good for 8 and a first. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. A great effort there. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Falcons use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Carr looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here's J.K. Scott now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch you now, Barney. Barney.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
Watch you now, Barney. Barney.
And they'll run it here. Space to maneuver at the 40. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Touchdown, Falcons. A great play there with his 3rd touchdown of the ball game, number 12 on the season. And the Falcons add on. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Switzer now to return. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Derek Carr getting set and ready to go again on offense here. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
Now, 185.
Carr to throw on 2nd down. Looking left sideline, incomplete. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Shotgun now for Carr. Connects it to Roberts, right side. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Now a handoff looking right. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. This is caught inside the 15. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Zerline good with a PAT, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And in the early going, the running game, as we see the numbers, it just wasn't on point. Well, now it's gotten more true to form.
And sometimes it takes a little while for an offensive line to get in sync. Because early in a game, defenses throw different patterns at you, different formations, different sets. And you might not block them quite the way you want to. But as you start to get into a groove and you figure out what they're doing, now it all comes together, and that's what we're seeing right now.
Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Get down. We're waiting.
From midfield, here's Carr. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
To throw on 3rd down. Carr. Cooper's got it. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Into the red zone. It's Carr. That's caught by Roberts. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College, not a heck of a lot of fun. I just remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too,
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
Gun! Detroit!
Now it looks like he'll throw here. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Atlanta, their strong September has carried over to October as they move to 5-0. And they'll have another road date next week with the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals.